wisdom teachers, gentle healers, and bold leaders of our global awakening. Welcome to the Joshua Jordan Experience. Listen to gather mystical insights for an extraordinary life. Hello. Today I thought I would spend some time talking to you about Joshua. When I started the Joshua Jordan Experience, I let you know that I would tell you more about Joshua as time goes on. So today I'll just have a casual conversation, share with you what I know about Joshua and my experiences with him. It was 42 years ago when a trance medium, that's what we called channels back in the day, told me that my entity name is Joshua. Now, there's a long story behind that because I'd been pestering this channel for a very long time to tell me my entity name because I had every intention of channeling my entity and only my entity. I didn't want to channel anyone else, any others. So, how did I discover what is an entity? In the 1970s, when I began my search for awakening, I was reading the Seth books by Jane Roberts. Jane Roberts channeled a energy essence personality called Seth. And Seth referred to Jane by her entity name. Her entity name was Rupert. And her husband, whose name was Robert, had an entity named Joseph. So I wanted to know more about what is this entity and what is entity name. And I discovered some of that through reading the Seth books. So 42 years ago, after pestering this trance channel, trance medium for a very long time about what is my entity name, finally one day he said to me, your entity name is Joshua, Jeshua, Joshua, Jeshua, Joshua. And he kept going back and forth on Joshua, Jeshua, which seemed to me like a very long time. Finally, I said, I understand. Then he said, the entity is male, female, male, female. And we got on this seesaw again of going back and forth between male, female. And finally, again, I said, I understand. And we moved on from there. So when I invited Joshua's energy into my presence, I realized this is a voice I've heard all my life. I just didn't have a name to call it. But I distinctly remember hearing Joshua speak to me when I was 4 years old, up to mischief. And I heard him say, stop, very clearly, don't. And that was when I was thinking about putting my little tiny finger between the prongs of a outlet plug-in and sticking it in the in the power. And Joshua made clear to me that was a no, don't do it. So anyway, he'd been around me all my life. And as I leaned into learning more about who Joshua is, that's what I want to share with you today. Of course, I was curious. Entity, what is an entity? What do you do? So here's what I understand. Joshua as an entity is serving humankind as a teacher and a warrior. Oh, a teacher and a warrior. Well, I know a lot about his energy as a teacher and only a little about what he does as a warrior because I have turned my face away from that part of his job, his responsibilities, because it doesn't align with my mission. I also discovered that Joshua as an entity is omnipresent, everywhere, ubiquitous. And that is why he can offer to you, call my name and I will answer you. because he is ubiquitous. He is omnipresent all around us, everywhere, and wanting so much to connect with and help and assist humans. Joshua is the speaker of the age. Joshua is also the spirit of the age. And I use these two expressions interchangeably: spirit of the age, the speaker of the age. And what does that mean? Well, I will tell you. In Joshua's omnipresent consciousness, he has been around the earth since humans began developing here. And he has been speaking to and through the entities. So other entities like himself, he speaks to and through. And the guides that are present all around you at all times, assisting you, looking out for you, wanting the best for you. So Joshua speaks to your guides. Joshua speaks to your guardians. These are angels. And Joshua speaks to them as well. Wants to assist, wants to help. Is there not only as a teacher, but a warrior. And the warrior serves the protection of the innocent. Joshua speaks to souls. Okay, so let's get a clear definition around what Joshua thinks of as a soul. Because some of us refer to ourselves as souls, and we are that. And yet my soul is greater than my energy, essence, personality, right? So my personality, energy, essence, I call spirit. Joshua refers to it as spirit. Your spirit is what animates you as a human, your personality, your spirit. But that spirit is sourced from a place called soul. Now, Joshua sees souls as the sources of many spirits. In other words, a soul creates and implants and manifests upon the earth plane spirits in different times with different faces doing different things throughout what is known history and what is the future. These spirits are created by souls, and souls find their source in the entity. So, as an entity, Joshua tells me he is the source of my soul. And my soul is the source of my energy, essence, personality, my spirit. So, Joshua is the source of the soul that created my spirit. So I am inseparable from Joshua. I look upon him as a source of who I am and a source of many souls. And many souls have many spirits living on the earth plane in different times. And Joshua is able to be present with all of those parts of his whole self in a moment, in an instant. And there are other entities. I'm not saying Joshua is the only one, but Joshua is omnipresent around the planet and humankind. And why? Why is that? Because, as I said, he's the speaker of the age. He's here to lead us. He is the spirit of the age, the energy essence that is transforming our world right now. So really, Joshua is on a mission. And he made that really clear to me from the start. You know, some people who channel want to play psychic. They want to uh, tune in to a person and project or predict their future. No, Joshua will not do that. Is not interested in any of that. As a matter of fact, it says it is a misuse of power. You create your own reality, and anyone attempting to tell you what your future is removing you from the power to create, or perhaps guiding you in a direction you might not really go. given you a free will and free choice. I'll talk about that some other time. Let's get back to telling you who Joshua is. So, Joshua is on a mission. He wants to illuminate the path of the Great Awakening. Joshua's mission is to put light on the path for the Great Awakening. And he does this by communicating to the teachers, healers, and leaders of the transformation. So Joshua is very focused on reaching the teachers, the healers, and the bold leaders of change, bringing forth a new reality on this planet, a reality that is based in love and compassion, peace, happiness, rather than the fear-based reality that humankind has created thus far. Joshua also is a professor. He's a teacher. He teaches at a place he calls Universe University, and he teaches oneness philosophy and application. And I have become his teaching assistant. So I get to appear once in a while at Universe University. And I do this through the dream state. That is how it's reached. You have also been in classrooms at Universe University, and some of you are aware of it, that in these moments when you think you are back in school, but it's not quite like the school you went to when you were younger. It's much more advanced. Universe University. Those of you who attend know what I'm talking about. So yeah, Joshua teaches there, and I am a teaching assistant. So I have mastered the subject of oneness philosophy and application, and I need to share and want to share more of that with you too. So what is Joshua's vibe? What's the energy I get when he comes around me? Well, I always feel unconditional love, absolute unconditional love. There is nothing I can do or say that would turn Joshua's love away from me. It cannot be done. He's compassionate. I feel in his energy vibe this very deep compassion for all humankind, for animals, for the earth, for the very cosmos we live in. Deep compassion. And he's kind when responding to people. There's some humor and some gentleness. And Joshua is also very forgiving. And I think I have mentioned this before, that in his presence, there is a gift of forgiveness that people receive. And it's not because you need to be forgiven by a deity. No. Forgiveness that Joshua feels for us is because he senses within most people a feeling of guilt, a place where they feel guilty of something that they hold against themselves. So until you forgive yourself, Joshua shares forgiveness with us. He's also very jolly. And I tell you, most of the time if I'm going to channel Joshua and I bring him near me, like he's close to me right now, I smile and I laugh and I hear him laugh often. He's a happy entity. Most of the time, he's very joyful. However, there are occasions when he is stern, like a parent or like a teacher, counselor. He can be firm and make his point in a way that, oh, that didn't sound very compassionate at the moment, but there is compassion underneath his sternness. And it is more rare that he is stern than he is jolly. However, I will tell you something that gets his attention immediately. He objects very strongly to what he calls the misuse or abuse of power. So when one is in a situation where maybe they're using their power in a frivolous or even malicious way, Joshua's presence is very firm that this is not acceptable. And I have experienced that myself. Not that I've ever attempted intentionally to misuse my power, but I'm a human. I'm just as human and normal as everybody else. So I'll tell you some questions I have received from people, and these have been fairly common, actually. I have been asked, is this the Joshua from the Bible? The answer to that is no, and yes, yes, and no. So, is this the Joshua from the Bible? No. Was the Joshua from the Bible a portion of the Joshua energy? Yes. So that is where we have the yes. Just like Jordan, I am a I am a spirit scooped from the energy that flows through Joshua. And so was the quote unquote Joshua of the Bible, the Joshua in history recorded in the Bible. And of course, even the Joshua recorded in the Bible is not a true reflection of the entire man, just a part of him. However, yes, the source of the spirit for the Joshua in the Bible is a part of the Joshua energy, the Joshua entity. So, is Joshua the Joshua from the Bible? No. Joshua himself, Joshua as an entity, has never incarnated into just one lifetime. He tells me it cannot be done. There is no way that an entity can live just one lifetime upon the earth. It is not. It's not functional. I'm struggling over the word, but it just cannot be done. So I've also been asked, is this Joshua ben Joseph? Some of you are familiar with that name. It is a name that is given at birth to the man later known as Jesus. In fact, Jesus is the Greek translation of the name Joshua. So, is Joshua Jesus? No, and yes, and yes, and no. Joshua himself cannot incorporate or integrate, incarnate as one person. Cannot be done. Jesus had a spirit that came from a soul that came from Joshua, just like me, and just like many, many, many others, countless numbers, have a spirit that came from a soul that was created by Joshua. So I have been asked quite directly, do you, Jordan, channel Jesus? No, I channel Joshua. And Joshua says, Jesus channeled Joshua too. Now, does that sound confusing? Is that challenging to your beliefs? If so, just set it aside because it is really not important. It doesn't really matter. Joshua teaches oneness. Joshua teaches love. Joshua teaches compassion, forgiveness, peace. These are the teachings of Joshua, and they have been passed down through teachers throughout the ages. And some are known, some are unknown. It's not consequential. I hope you will connect directly with Joshua. And yet, if you are a student of Jesus, so be it. That is another way to connect with Joshua. So I would like to let you talk to Joshua now that I've spilled my guts about who he is and his mission. I want to go ahead and bring him through and let him talk to you. I don't know why I pulled off my lenses. Oh, well, I don't need them to channel. Hello, beloved one. So today you got to hear some details about who I am and my mission. And I hope you didn't find it concerning, shocking. As a matter of fact, most of you know who I am. Those that I want to reach, the teachers, healers, and leaders of the global transformation. You know my voice. You have heard it all of your life, just like Jordan. I am with you. I am here with you. I have chosen Jordan as my channel because of his clarity, his ability to open the channel completely to me and not interfere with the message I share with you. And that is why he is my chosen channel. But there are others, and you will hear from them. There are others I have chosen to speak for me during this time, and you will know their names. You might be one of them. I ask you to spend a little more time with me. If that is your mission, if it is your direction to be a teacher of oneness, a teacher of love, a teacher of compassion and peace, I am here for you. Spend more time with me, and I will support you. I will give you all of my energy and lift you up to the best of my ability so that you may reach the students you have called, so that you can reach the ones waiting to hear your voice. If you are listening to me now, you could very well be one of my chosen teachers. You are probably in my class at University. And now it is time for you to do your mission, to carry out what you came here to share. Also, I wish to remind you that this is the dawn of a great transformation coming to the people, the time of enlightenment and awakening. And we reach that by connection, by connecting all people to our oneness with one another. You see, when I look at you, I see who I am. And when you look at me, I am a reflection of who you are. And if we treat each other with that awareness and that respect, that treating one another as if I am speaking to God, this is how people will interact in the new age. We will look at each other as divine beings, and we will speak to each other as if we are talking to God. And more importantly, we will listen to others, knowing God is speaking. There is an important focus upon being able to listen to and connect to others, and listening to them as if we know the divine is speaking to us. Now, I'll spend just a moment on this word divine because some people find divine to be so sacred, so elevated, so beyond human experience, that they begin to separate from it, that that which is divine must be outside myself and something greater that I go to seek. No, the divine is you. You are the divine. You are the creation of the source of all that is, divine and perfect as you are. And you are whole and complete. Now, let's begin in our next session to talk more about the experiences of oneness and how to tune into that in your daily activities. You see, it is easy to connect to your oneness when you're sitting in meditation and achieving bliss consciousness. Yes, that is where your oneness is deeply experienced. And we want to integrate that experience and bring it into your conscious level activities so that even when you are going out and going around and talking to people and doing your jobs or taking care of your family, interacting with friends, that in those moments, in a breath, you can connect to your oneness with everything and everyone in your environment, total and complete. You see, you are the world, you are the earth, you are the light, you are the shadow. And with light and shadow, you paint masterpieces in the play upon the stage called life. I will conclude my comments for today. I want you to know I love you. I am here for you eternally. Call upon me in the now. I will answer you. That is my promise. Learn to listen for me. Learn to hear me in the voice of the wind or in the sound of the ocean or in the songs of the birds. Learn to hear me in the babbling brook, telling you you are one with all that is, whole and complete, and I love you. I bid you good day. I have found that I struggle to summarize Joshua after he speaks, and I don't need to. I think he summarizes his comments himself. Please know that Joshua loves us, that there's nothing to fear here. Please come and enjoy our presentations again. We'll tell you more about Joshua and Jordan and what we are learning on our journey of oneness. Thank you for listening. We hope you heard something to ponder and gained inspiration for your journey. Please join us again next time. Joshua says, let the light grow, let love show, and let your life be fun.